my name is Kelsey.
And my name is Becky.
And we're the Sorry Girls.
And we are back doing some really fun fashion DIYs.
I feel like we haven't done one of these in a while.
No, this doesn't really have a theme other than these are just really trendy stuff that we've seen around and we thought we could probably DIY them.
Yeah, and a couple of them are inspired by pieces of my own. All right, we're gonna get started with an easy to do bodysuit upcycle. Well, it's a tank top upcycle to a bodysuit.
Bodysuits are one of my ultimate favorite things at the moment. Like, I'm obsessed.
They just like take a little bit more effort in the washroom.
That is true.
But they're super cute. All right, so we're gonna turn a slightly long tank top. Honestly, it doesn't have to be as long as I even thought it needed to be. It doesn't have to be that long, just maybe like towards your crotch length. And we've seen these all around kind of YouTube and the blogosphere and Pinterest. But shout out to My Style Diary, who kind of gave us some inspo for the way we did today's bodysuit upcycle. We took a thrifted tank top and laid it flat, and next took a pair of underwear that we liked the shape of and folded the crotch area in half and placed it directly on the bottom of the tank top. Cut 2 slits on either side of the crotch section. You might want to give yourself a little bit extra room because hem later. Next, lay the underwear flat and pull down. Trace at the bottom of this and cut it out. Cutting through the front and the back is okay. Also, cut off the bottom hem at this point. Now fold the tank top in half long ways and lay it flat. Try to do the same thing with the underwear, but keep the butt out of the way. We're just tracing the front of the underwear towards the front of the tank top and tracing that line there. Trace this out and cut it out. So after estimating what it would look like on, we decided that we wanted it to be like a little bit higher cut than the underwear was. If this happens to you too, don't worry, it's a pretty easy fix. So we just measured how much higher we would want like the start of the bodysuit from the bottom. Yeah, the hips to sit, where we want that to start. So we just measured about like an inch or so up from the bottom of our current bodysuit and then just added a slit on either side. Then we just folded the whole bodysuit in half and then just trimmed from that part where we marked a little bit towards the crotch. Just make sure that you don't take any more fabric away from the crotch area unless you wanted to trim that too, but probably not. You're just gonna wanna focus on where that side is and trim it up there.
Nobody wants a front thong.
No, I don't. Last thing to do is hem up the edges and add a simple stitch across the crotch. When it's done, you have a new wardrobe stable for your closet.
So easy.
So good.
So next up, we're gonna show you how to make these tearaway pants. These are amazing because I remember these being in style when I was like pretty young. They were like the cool thing for all like the rappers to wear. And, like, I don't know who wore them.
The rappers?
They were awesome. And then they were totally out of style and now they're having a huge moment again. So obviously we have to DIY them and they're actually not too hard to DIY.
Also comfy pants though.
Are everything.
So good. And also they're very versatile. Like, I mean, if you go to like the gym or something. Although like who's gonna like unsnap those? It would take like way too long to snap back up. But you could be extra. You could be extra.
No, it's good. Like it's getting a little hot in here. Let me just unsnap a little bit.
There you go, that's true.
Ventilation.
Yeah.
We picked up a pair of athletic pants from the thrift store in a size that was slightly too large. Laying them down, we figured out how much overlap on the sides we wanted there to be. And at this time, you want to make sure you're overlapping the sides of the pants front to back, so that the front with the stripe and the snap side goes over the back side, which has the back of the snaps. With some pins, fold over about 1 1/4 inch flap with enough black to place our snaps on later. Cut down the side of the pants and repeat on the other side. Once it's cut and the pants are open, we cut the pants away from the waistband a bit so that we can take another 1/2 inch off the inside of the stripe side. Pin and sew a rolling hem, and repeat this on the other side as well. So remember when we did the stripe side, the waistband was still hanging out. Well, at this point, we cut and folded the waistband, and instead of rolling with the pants, we used a zigzag stitch. This kept everything in place and very flat. Now everything is cut, hemmed, and looking good. Our pants still don't really work as pants, so we need to add some snaps. Time for a quick snap tutorial. You need 4 pieces for a snap. 2 clamped together on one side of your fabric, and 2 clamped together on the other side. So we have the cap and socket, which I'm gonna call our front friends, and the stud and the eyelet, which I'm gonna call our backside friends. So first we're gonna start by punching a hole, and you'll need a leather punch for that. Now we originally thought that those were only for leather, but we tried it on fabric and it worked really well, so you might wanna pick up one as well. Punch a hole where the snap is going to go. Next you'll need a snap setting tool. We got this one online and we will link it below. Enter the cap in from the front side and flip it over and place the socket on the back. Lay the cap in the base of the snap setting tool, and then use a hammer or a mallet to flatten the little tube of metal that came out of the cap. This is how the 2 pieces lock together. We put 2 snaps on the top through the elastic waistband. For the backside snaps, we overlap the fabric about 1 inch and place the backside snaps where they would line up with the front side snaps. You can do this by eyeing it or by feeling for the center of the front side snap through the fabric and marking it. For the rest of the leg, you're attaching the front side snaps to the striped side of your pants. We measured how long the rest of the leg was divided by how many snaps we had plus 1 to figure out the spacing. We marked these with some pins and then remarked them with pins once we figured out the right math. Obviously, the more snaps, the more secure your pants will be, but we did 6 down each leg after the waistband. So a couple of things we learned while doing this. One is that the base of your snap setting tool can totally scrape the top of your cap. So we put down some felt to totally protect it while we were doing this.
Mm-hmm. And another thing I learned is that if your snaps are a little bit loose, it could be because your fabric is too thin. Like it was fine when we were doing the waistband, but not when we were doing the rest of the pant. Mm-hmm. So that just means that that little metal piece is a little bit too long. And that's an easy fix. You can actually just take sandpaper and sand it down. It really easily comes away after a couple seconds of sanding. You can just lower that metal so that when you hammer it on, it's not in the way. It snaps together better.
Once the front side snaps were on, we lined up the back side pant leg with that approximately 1 inch overlap. We then used a silver Sharpie to mark where we would make the holes for the back side snaps. Repeat the snap setting process, but for the back side. Make sure the eyelet is inserted from the inside of the pant leg so that your snaps will work together when you're done. If you flip over the base of the snap setting tool, you'll find a different base that is best to use when working on the backside snaps. Then you can go ahead and snap them all together. Repeat the whole front side, back side snap setting process on your other side of your pants and you are good to go.
Looking good.
So fun in the 90s.
90s, early 2000s chic / V athletic.
Yeah.
Athleisure is staying strong in 2018. So there's this striped shirt that I always wear, and honestly I get a million comments of where it's from. Well, guys, I've said this before, but it's from Amazon, and I'll link it below. I actually just added it to my cart when I needed more free shipping. I was like, hold on, let me just find a super chill sweater to wear. Yeah, that's how that happened. Anyways, it's cute, I agree. So we're going to DIY today because it is such an easy DIY. You'll need a plain white shirt. You could do a sweater, but we did a loose long sleeve shirt. We got this red, white, and blue ribbon from the ribbon store, and it just happened to be so similar to the original ribbon that's on my shirt. But this pattern is pretty common, and any striped ribbon would actually look really good. If you want, you can put on the shirt and find out where exactly you want the ribbon to sit, or you can just wing it. Cut a piece the size of the chest with a little bit of excess on either side. About a ½ inch or so will do. After marking where we want the ribbon to sit on the shirt with pins, we took a seam ripper, flipped the shirt inside out, and then ripped the seam along the inside of the shirt just where the ribbon hits. We're going to bring the ribbon in at this seam to keep everything looking tidy. It was an internal struggle whether to fabric glue or sew this on, but we went with fabric glue just because it is honestly way easier, and it's not really going to change the look or the durability of the shirt since it is kind of just a decal that's going on. So we ended up going with fabric glue. Just make sure that you get the right brand of fabric glue, otherwise it will not stick. We like the brand Fabri-Tac, which we will link below. For the ribbon on the arms, again, you might want to put it on to figure out where the ribbon should go. You want it to sit pretty straight across when your arms are down, which means that when your sweater or shirt isn't on, the ribbon will probably go up on an angle a little bit. Repeat the fabric glue technique on the arm and the seam ripping technique towards the back. Maybe buy a little bit more ribbon than we did because we ran out, so you cannot look at the back of our shirt. I think we got 1 1/4 yards or something like that, so I think aim for 2 just to be safe. Once you've attached your ribbon everywhere you want it to be, front, arms, and ideally the back, push the ends of the ribbon through your seam ripped holes and pin them back up with the shirt inside out. Simply sew along these holes, making sure to reverse stitch over the portions that you cut open so that your fabric doesn't unravel. From the front, your ribbon is going to look nicely sewn into the shirt like it was there the entire time. So easy.
So easy.
But you could also buy it on Amazon if you want. If it's available in your country, maybe, I don't know. But it's also really easy to do. If you have a white shirt, or maybe a stain, right there, that you can cover up.
Speaking of stains that you can cover up and DIY around, that leads us to our last DIY. So this is a shredded / ripped up sweater. We've seen these shredded sweaters like everywhere, and they can be really expensive even though it's literally just a distressed sweater. So this is great. You can start with a thrift store sweater, or like we said, if you have one that has a stain or already has a rip in it, like you can continue on with that sweater.
Yeah.
So this is a super easy process to do. Take a seam ripper and rip one of the vertical pieces of yarn. Pull the horizontal pieces of yarn so that the stitches start coming undone. Wherever you make the first cut, your run will go downwards, or at least on our sweater, that's how it worked. Tie up the ends of your cut yarn to keep the spot from unraveling more. We repeated this in different areas of the sweater, along the bottoms of the arms, around the neck, and on the front and the back. A couple of things we learned was that you can also do this process from the back, and your dangly ramen yarn pieces will end up on the inside of your shirt. To do a wider area, you can pull out the horizontal piece of yarn or just cut it and do the same process. So you can definitely experiment with this. It's really hard to mess it up as long as you aren't doing too many holes and as long as you don't forget to tie it up so the whole thing doesn't completely come undone. Which, speaking of, make sure that you hand wash or delicate wash this since it is going to be ripped and more delicate now that we've DIY'd it.
Alright, thank you guys so much for watching that video. I hope you learned some cool fashion hacks.
Yeah, let me know what was your favorite below, and if there's one that you've seen that we haven't done, like tell us so we can do it next time.
And if you noticed that Becky's like super tan, that's because we both went on vacation, but she went somewhere a little bit sunnier than I did. But yeah, make sure you guys check out our vlog channel. We document our lives over there, some fun things behind the scenes of these videos. Yeah, so that's linked below and up above, the vlog channel. Check it out.
Go subscribe over there too.
That uploads on Wednesdays, so that if you guys come to our channel, you get something like Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What?
Sunday again.
And then Sunday, and then it's all over again.
Oh my god.
It's an endless circle. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like it, make sure you like it.
And if you love it, make sure you sub it.
And we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.